Hey folks, JJ coming to you from the downtown studios of Jewitt Guitars in Cleveland, Ohio, and also the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I hope you enjoyed that beginning opening sequence of the sound demo with Lindsay. I'm here to talk a little bit about some of the specifications and features of this lovely guitar. Let's start off with the shape. It may look like an OM, but really you can't call it an OM. It's a triple O. And a triple O and an OM are basically the same body. In other words, we use the same mold, but this is a short scale. An OM is a long scale, or 25.4, so this is a 24.9. The short scale is a nice feature to have if you're beginning fingerstyle, or if you like to really bend notes, because it puts a lot less tension on the strings. But before we kind of get more involved with that, let's talk about what's kind of woods we're using on this lovely guitar. First of all, take a look at this top. This soundboard is Swiss Moon Spruce, which is very white, very clean, has lovely grain, and a little bit of silking going on. We've paired this with Sinker Mahogany that was recovered from the Hudson River about 10 years ago by a local guy. There's a story behind this, but very briefly, it was recovered from a sawmill that used to do business, or used to supply all the wood to not only North American furniture companies, but also North American guitar companies like Martin and Gibson. In fact, the Martin records show that they did business or bought mahogany from this company for about 50 or 60 years. Starting up here at the top, we've got an ebony peghead with my signature cat eye and diamond inlay. Goto 510 tuners in the Cosmo Black. These are an 18:1 gear ratio. I've got a 1 3/4 inch bone nut, 2 1/4 inch bone saddle, and this is an ebony fretboard, ebony bridge with ebony pins. The fretboard has gold frets and is framed in a very nice, delicate white purfling that goes around the whole outside of the fingerboard to give it a really nice, classy, elegant look. Got a spalted maple rosette ringed by black, white, black purfling, and that spalted maple rosette is carried over to the end wedge. The guitar is framed in black ebony purfling, black ebony binding with a white maple purfling. We'll get you some close-ups of this. And I've got what's called a mini arm bevel here, which is not your normal kind of lashkin cut-in bevel, but it's an arm bevel that follows the contours or lines of the guitar, which I like better. And don't be misled by the rather delicate or subtle look of it. It really does take a lot of pressure off your forearm when you're playing and make the guitar very comfortable to play. Another thing that we did is we did a player comfort wedge, I call it. It's actually a very miniature or small wedge, which takes a little bit of material off the back edge here, about 1/4 to 3/16 of an inch. And what that does is tilt the guitar forward when you sit down and play it, so it makes it a lot easier to navigate. Under the hood, we've got some really, really hybrid, nice bracing. This is kind of a Jewitt signature these days. But we use Adirondack spruce for the main X brace, which is forward shifted. In other words, the X joint is pushed up a little bit closer to the sound hole, which frees up a lot more space down here to give you really good bass and sustain. The rest of the bracing, like the tone bars and the finger braces, are all Swiss spruce. They're the same species as the top. So this is all species kind of related as far as the bracing and the top goes. The back heel cap is basically a piece of wood that's saved from when we cut out the back, so it continues the flow of the grain up the back into the heel cap. And this is a one-piece mahogany neck with a fingerstyle carve on it. So it's cut down very deep So it allows you very good access once you get up close in this position to play on the upper frets. That's pretty much it as far as the specifications go. It's got my signature gloss, catalyzed or two-component urethane finish, and the neck is a semi-gloss finish. It's a special process we developed, which is we do spray the neck with gloss lacquer, but we use a coarse buffing wheel that has a lot of wax in it, so it gives it a really nice, silky, almost waxy feel. It's very easy to play, very comfortable. Sound-wise, it's just basically your very classic mahogany and Euro spruce combination, but the sinker mahogany aspect of this gives makes the mahogany a little bit more dense. In fact, its specific gravity is higher than normal mahogany. So you get a little bit fatter trebles, I want to call it, a little bit deeper bass, but you get that classic, nice, balanced mid-range that you get with mahogany. We've voiced the top a little bit lower than I normally would do a top, and what this does is give you some really nice, smooth bass. I'm sure you'll hear that if you stick around for the next sound demo. But as I said, this guitar is spoken for. If you would like one of your own, message me or Lindsay. I'd be glad to talk to you about a Jewitt guitar build using some of the Sinker mahogany sets I have left or some of the other fabulous tone woods I have. So stick around, as I said, for the next sound demo with the amazing Lindsay straw, and we'll see you later.